Last time I designed and built a working electricity power plant, and now I need to distribute the power to all my factories. This means I need power lines. To start, I'll create 3 different sizes and use them to send power to everything from radar installations, factories, and a steel mill. Alongside power lines, I continue construction on the nearby highways to make them suitable for my car transport. I really can't do anything until I get some power line designs, and so that's what we're gonna do first. I want the small ones to be made out of wood, so we'll probably use either stripped spruce or stripped dark oak wood. I think this design works pretty well because we can have multiple different combinations depending on what I want. Like I could have 4 different lines, and really the line count doesn't matter very much except for aesthetics, since it seems to have a near infinite or a very high transfer limit per wire. So it looks pretty good with 4 of these. It also looks good when you you get rid of these and you have just 2 of them. This was about as good as I could come up with, especially to get any kind of slope on the end. Like if you look at these in real life, you'll see they are sloped underneath. And it's even centered as well, which makes it even harder. So let's move on to the medium power lines. Somehow diagonal cable blocks ended up being the best option for a cross piece in the middle of this because they're centered. None of the other diagonal slopes or anything like that are centered. So here we go. So I noticed we're kind of limited by cable length, which is a problem. It's a little awkward for these medium ones, and it's going to look very awkward with high voltage ones because this is the maximum distance that these cables can be apart from each other. Let me check something because we have Crate Crafts and Additions, which has its own wire system and its own connectors. So let me just check what the distance is between these. I don't know if there's a way to convert between the two, but maybe it's worth a try. Well, that's a lot farther. That's too far, but that's still pretty long. Let me try to convert this. Oh, wait, look at that, guys. That was surprisingly easy. Look, see, it's got this generator here, which is from TPMG. And that's the mod that we're using for all the electricity in there. And this is the large connector and electrum spool from, what's it called? Crafts and Additions. And all you had to do is just click that. See, look, it kind of looks like an arrow pointing downward. You click that. Now it would be trying to push into there. Now that's doing nothing. Now it's pushing out. So here, this is filling up. But if we were to do that, nothing happens. It's trying to pull from there, and then it's pushing back down to there. So surprisingly easy. And then now we can make really long wires. Like, take a look at that. That's more like it. And it's possible these things may actually have some kind of transfer limit. That might be something we encounter as well. We're going to have to find that out. I should probably find that out right now, actually. Well, dang, it seems like we're getting a lot of power out of just one cable. I did have to add a converter block because that adds voltage. It's this thing, like right here. No, I mean, that's 6 being powered from one wire. That's probably more than I'd ever want, anyways, from one wire, given that most of these carry several. You can see I started with this little version and it was cringe, so I upgraded the size. Now I have a big high voltage power line setup. Funny thing, almost the entire thing is built out of copycat blocks just because it's about the right color. And it also obviously has holes in it and looks like scaffolding framing, that look is really hard to get because it requires, really small pieces of metal in real life. And this really small pieces of metal do not go well in Minecraft where everything is supposed to be 1 cubic meter. Ironically, in this picture here, it looks like that's 120 feet. I hope that's feet, but if it is 120 feet, that translates to about 36 meters or 36 blocks, and this thing happens to be 36 blocks tall. I did not plan that, it just worked out. Let's get a big power pole schematic. We will start with this and deploy smaller ones off of it. neglecting transformer stations for the time being. By the way, the library up there is coming along nicely, and that's only a level 1. Level 5, it's pretty crazy. Speaking of level 5, the university, you can see where it's getting worked on. It is almost at a level 5. So this highway here, I plan on having turn sooner than I initially was thinking. It is going to turn somewhere right here, and then it is going to remain elevated as it goes across these tracks until it goes down in elevation and then sits on ground level and then crosses this little river. Well, let's put this down. How's that compared to the road? That's gonna look pretty crazy. I feel like I need to redirect the road where I'm gonna have it go right now though, so that I can visualize it, because I'm having a hard time putting this all together in my mind as to how I need to set this up. Most of it's hinging on this highway and where exactly it's going. We are gonna have an off-ramp right here that goes down into this area, and we're going to have an on-ramp right here, and we're gonna have another road come from right here, because this road kind of dead ends, and it's not going to be a full-size version of this. It's going to be probably a single lane thing that goes past here. I might have to redo something with the tree farms, but that was always temporary. I know it's been there most of the series, but I'm pretty sure I said it was temporary when I built it. I'm going to build the first of these big towers here and send probably 3 wires in that direction, and then we're going to continue the other ones there. It's almost exclusively copycat stuff, so let's try to determine how much zinc this actually is. Oh, so here I have 6,000. That's good. 12,000 copper. This is still running, which is nice. I've had some issues where this thing runs out of LPG, and then it shuts off. I probably will replace this with electricity. So I made 8 poles worth of stuff, of zinc, which was quite a few stacks. I don't know exactly how many, but quite a few. We'll assemble the first one here, and then I'll have to get some wires to go with this. Excellent. Very fast, not even a minute. Now that I have this, let's make some electrum wires. How are we gonna do that? So electrum is normally an alloy, but we just get it as a product of gold stuff, like ochrum. And I have some of this. I should have even more of it stored up. I will go check. I think I was storing some of it. Given that it is a product of ochrum crushing, and I'm crushing ochrum here, I think there should be some of it. I don't remember what exactly I did, though. Oh, here, look at that, guys. There's 11,000 electrum nuggets. I was a little bit worried that I might not have enough. Obviously, that was not a justified concern. Now, this is the real butter ingot. I know everybody thought it was gold at one point, but sorry, guys. We found the real one. I only have about 1,200 of it, which is not as much as I expected, but before you can turn it into wires, you have to turn it into plates. So let's stick this here, turn it into plates, and then we'll stick it into the drawing roller, whatever thing. So here we go. I got 12 stacks of this, which only turns into 3 stacks of spools, but that's a lot, admittedly. I've got these cable hubs, and I'm gonna go figure out how to convert this in the simplest way. Let's get out my old thing. We'll get out these, and we're gonna switch over the energy and hopefully not have any problems. Cable hub is not any good, but what about if we just went connector to connector? Oh, that works. Look, it's going in there. So ironically, connector to connector is better. I should be able to connect these wires to here now. Yes, I can. Awesome. So we'll do 3 on this side, and then I will hook up some more, I guess just from that one generator, because that's all we have now. And we'll send these 3 in that direction, and the other 3 over there. And then I can hook up more as I get more. Well, here we go. 6 lines going to the first high voltage tower. I could put one maybe like right here. That might be far enough away that it wouldn't look dumb, and then we can transition over to the medium voltage ones. What do we think? Let's get a schematic out and let's take a look at that. Sure, I'll put it here, and I might actually be able to put another one right there, and we can avoid the parking spots. We might not have to go to medium poles quite as quickly as I expected. Now this is power transmission. Oh yeah. Let's do a quick test here. Are we still gonna be getting power, or did something break? Yes! Yes, it's going in. We are good to go. Power lines can continue. Oh my goodness, look at that sunset. What do we think about putting it on the roof? Having one more pole somewhere over here, possibly on the roof as well. And then we put the next pole over the river. Or is that like really cool? I don't know. Maybe I should just build it and see. There's a decent chance this is too long. Oh! Let's tear it down. Womp womp. Let's go, guys. I just made something again that's a little bit too long, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. The wire, not long enough, but I went to the config, and I went to access other mods, and I went to create additions, common config, and we have wire config, and would you look at that? We have the maximum block length for the large wires and the small ones. So let's make this 96. I want to make it insane, but now I don't have to worry quite as much about the wires not being able to reach. I don't have to worry that actually I could increase it a lot more if I want to. So now this is good, and I did just stick this up here for now. And I really don't know what a better option is, just because I didn't leave anywhere a spot for these power lines. I'm gonna switch this ammo factory over to electricity first, because it's right next to those high voltage power lines that I'm bringing across the river. To do this, we're gonna be using the electric motors from the factory must grow. I just have to add some converters and get the electricity working for them with the right voltage. Here. Oh, take a look at that. We completely filled up this storage drawer with 16,000 machine gun rounds. That's a lot. You like to see it. So here, what I'm going to do is a very unsafe thing and bring down a high voltage power line to right here. Let's see if I can put this here, and then I can attach electric motors to this. And then I guess I'll need some cable hubs, maybe. Or I could do 2 converters. The hubs are kind of buggy. I don't know. We'll try the cable hubs here. And then, so we'll put a converter here, and I guess I need to then get this over here with the wires. Is this gonna like clip through everything and look weird? Oh no, not too much, not too much. Overstress, yeah, I bet it is, but look, it's got power. So, I don't know what this was actually running at. That's interesting. So, you make it go to a higher speed to get the full stress benefit from it. 256 is the maximum. I'm gonna have to slow this down. It has to be inputted at really fast and then slowed down. It's definitely still overstressed, but watch, if I drop this down to basically 1, there we go. Here, let's speed this up. Boom, all the way. Or not. We having like a voltage problem here? Right, so one converter actually has problems. One converter is not able to handle this very well. You need a couple converters. It's not the wires. There. So now it's not having an issue. So I can probably bring this back up to 64, which is what it would have been at, I imagine. And now we're powering the ammo factory from the power plant really far away, all thanks to chunk loading and huge power lines. I don't... Oh my goodness, I need more ammo. In that case, we're just gonna bring this over here with these wires and in here. Now we should be able to convert it over without any issues. And there we go, maximum strength. Radar's back on, now being powered by electricity. No more magical energy transmitters. This is what we were hoping for with these power lines. And it can just go straight through the ground. It's pretty okay. See, look, it's a buried power line, guys. It's so realistic. All right, I'm going to consider this area wrapped up for now. Let's move on and start moving power elsewhere. So I've gathered up the resources here in these chests to build 8 big towers and 8 medium towers. Because I have a big tower, well, let's just build it right here. That one is meant to connect and go in that direction. I want this big pole to be pretty close by so that I can then send the medium ones in that direction. And it's gonna follow a road that we're gonna install there shortly. Well guys, look at that, the temporary tree farm finally proved temporary. It's gone. I'm going to move it somewhere not nearby because I have more tick rate to work with than I do FPS in this area. The FPS in this area is questionable at best and terrible at worst. So if I move stuff really far away, like my redstone factory that I built forever ago, all that stuff, I mean, it would be laggy if it was near here, but it's not. It's a gazillion miles away. So it just sits there and doesn't lag anything with my frame rate. It just makes the TPS slightly worse, and I can afford that. But now that this is out of the way, I can keep building my power lines, and I can lay down a road, flatten it out for some buildings. And you know, this big hill here, sometimes I wish I could just get rid of the whole thing. Think of how much room we would have. But just look how much nicer it is over here now that I tore out a bunch of the mountain. We've got these power lines, and we're gonna bring them into this factory, because I removed all of the stuff that was here. And there was I don't know, like 24 or 32 something. There was a lot of campfires here. And remember how I always keep complaining about, oh, there's 8,000 particles here. Well, now we're down to 3,000. It helped a lot when I turned off all the campfires that were in the village over there and in the colony. And now I just got rid of the last major source of campfires producing particles. So that means everything here is not being powered right now, but we're about to fix that. These wires can, of course, go through walls, which is kind of a little bit cringe, but also kind of helpful. But that seems to be in order, so now the factory, instead of being powered from a giant building over there with a ton of campfires, it is now powered with 2 little electric motors right here. It's come a long way since, I don't know, like the 4th video or something where I built this. Look at that, they finished the university. I thought it was going to take way longer, but no. They got it. Like, take a look at this. We could go as far as everything. I just haven't actually got very far yet. So it's more of a skill issue on my end. But what do we have? We have quite a few stories. Well, we've got this up here. Oh, we've got nice doors. Whoa, this is a nice room. Great view of the colony. Awesome view of the bridge. Great job, guys. That's powering it, but it's draining this, which makes me think it might need to be from a different power line. How about now? Oh yeah, there we go. We're good to go. Cool, so there is kind of a transfer limit. That's nice. This was even easier because it was using less than 1 electric motor, so I don't even need this at the max speed. It's at 96 speed, producing 4,000 stress units, and this is a pretty small build. It doesn't have that many stress consuming things. A couple saws, a couple crafters, so that's done. 1 less charcoal teleporter. Let's move on to another teleporting charcoal thing. Great, so this little system, that's the steel mill itself powered. Hopefully there is enough power from the top line to power this building now. So this is teleporting LPG. It's a little bit different, but getting rid of this would allow me to free up this engine, which would be nice because I could put this in a vehicle instead. These things are probably more useful for vehicles in the long run. How is this working? I've got like one that's at a lower speed and then this at a higher speed, but it's pulling in the lower speeds stress units. I'm surprised that works. That means I can actually go adjust some other ones. For example, we have 2 things here running at the maximum speed, whereas I don't actually think I need that. Yeah, I don't. That's great. So I can save on some electricity because it does affect how much electricity it uses. Bro, can you not blow up my power poles? Oh my gosh, get good, scrubs. Almost everything we want is connected with power lines now. The last thing I want to do today is work on these roads. We need to fill this in, add the on-ramp, add the off-ramp, and try to add as much decorative stuff as possible so that we can take a scenic tour in our nice ride. You're probably starting to be able to see here where my plans for possibly removing a section of this mountain or hill is coming into place. Like I've cleared this out, backed it up to the very edge of the hill. I don't think I would get rid of all of it. I actually like having this up here, plus this whole thing is a huge hill. We wouldn't get rid of that. So we've got these on-ramps here, and I had to play with them a bunch of different times, and I must admit, to be honest, I did a little bit of world edit to help shove the entire highway down multiple blocks to save myself some time, because at the time I was feeling like I was getting a cold and I needed to be done so that I could go languish until I felt better, which I do now. Hopefully I continue to feel that way. Yeah, I just really didn't want it to be that high. The tunnel board can't fit now, but that sounds like a skill issue and it'll have to sort it out on its own. And it looks way better now. And the trains can still fit, barely. But we've got the on-ramp, we've got the off-ramp, and it just kind of is, the supports are a little weird under here because I didn't build this with a highway in mind. So any future stuff will be planned better so that it doesn't end up having strange supports. Even the diagonal though over here looks really nice. I'm happy with this. We've got like one big pillar, big cross piece, and a B for some reason. And when you're up here, you got a bird's eye view of this. This is a little bit of a problem now. It's not up to safety standards there. It's a little bit close for comfort. I'll have to do something about that. And yeah, remember these parking spots? Well, maybe not. I used a long time ago, but these parking spots that I put here, yeah, the car actually fits in them. My ability to park well is always questionable with this thing, but the car does fit, so I'm very happy with that. I should probably get rid of some of that wall. That makes that turn really difficult. Those power lines are a little bit low as well. I might try to do something about that, although I'm not sure what I can do. Oh, and I fell off, literally. But that's all we've got time for today. That was actually a lot of building, but I think it looks pretty cool. Next time, we'll probably be back to some military stuff, maybe blowing up some hills, who knows. Either way, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I've been Sbeev, and I'll see you guys next time.